Really good one now.
Yeah, and you look at this and thinking that the sides that we see here in these, today and whoever ends up beating Endpoint tomorrow actually could be a completely different side to what we see in Pro League, funny enough, if one of them were to make it. So it's quite interesting that both of them are in a sort of a rebuild period, but still have managed to be so competitive in a way that, maybe most wouldn't have thought. I don't think this as well. I do have to give credit a little bit to forZe yesterday. I don't think anybody expects them to even be as close as they were. So the push Falcons the distance makes it credit towards them, but maybe for forZe they're thinking, well, we're better than forZe and we can surely take this one. This one on the way, T-side start for Falcons, and Krad already tested.
Here we go. Let's see how this one goes. Well, I will say, there's a final bit of discussion as the map veto you saw in front of your very eyes. It does look like we have a change-up today. I mentioned forZe being the factor, but forZe have been practicing, as I said, the last few days with Risalt and with forZe. So today, they are playing with Risalt. Here's a player from VP Prodigy. At the moment, it might not even matter. He does get his 1 kill. And forZe get a clean up as they go toward ramp. But yeah, interesting that forZe are playing with their other player today that they have been pracking with. It's kind of fascinating. As I said, they have not decided on their 5th yet. They have got off to a really good start.
For those at home who maybe don't know who Risalt is, he's a youngster, I think, is 17 years of age. He plays, played prior, I guess, if he's now trialing with forZe. He played prior with a VP Prodigy, and he's very talented. He's someone who can really actually step up to the plate and cause a lot of problems. He's just a very solid rifler, to be perfectly honest. He can play a lot of those anchor positions really well and kind of seems to have experience way above his age. So I think it's someone that many people, you shouldn't actually sleep on him. He's a talented dude. And when you consider as well that forZe are a young side, I mean, not being funny, shalfey and Zorta aren't exactly old by any means. So the young side, he'll fit exactly right in. But interesting that they've gone for him in such an important round, or such an important game, right? When it did seem like forZe was playing pretty well.
Yeah, he was. I mean, obviously, it might be a case of him just not being available to play today. Simple as that. We obviously don't know. forZe haven't communicated this on their socials, so yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. What I will say, I was about to mention something about the map veto when I realised Risalt was the one playing. But what I will say is that Falcons, this could be considered a must-win map for them. Historically, forZe love going to Mirage. It's a map they're very comfortable on. And Falcons do not have a win on it in 4. They've lost 19-15 to Partizan. They've lost to Roska Gurtos, the Polish team, Eklot, and AGO at the end of last year. So it's not one they have a single good result on as of late, which is certainly worrying. They will get off to a good start. Kenny going for an entry outside, dealing with Jerry, and MBK taps down Zorta beautifully to get a man advantage.
Shot. What about the ears just a little bit there as well, MBK. Glad to see him still competing at a high level. And other idea for shalfey as he meets him with a grenade to the face. 22 points of HP to kickstart this one. Already, couple of openers, level, heading actually. In fact, Krad will make it 2. Numbers go back in favor of forZe. It's a lovely couple of shots from him. They're making it super competitive now as MBK are following the same suit. All down to 1. All down to Haji. Back turn. It's a freebie for the youngster, the new boy. It's going to be a continuous great showing from forZe. 3-0.
Perfect starts. Does make you slightly worried for Falcons because they have been consistently having slow starts every single day, it feels like, in this particular tournament, especially against Partizan. They were coming from behind basically at every single map in that series. Somehow managed to grind it out. And yeah, we shall see if Risalt gives any buff to forZe. Looking forward to seeing how he plays already, because it's a player that, or while I might have some knowledge of, I've actually never casted playing before, so looking forward to seeing how he does. At the moment, he's yet to die alongside Krad. It's a perfect start. It looks like Falcons are going to be ordering up a ramp rush coming in, and Krad will molly the ramp before he can fall down. But of course, it does give it up. Falcons have full control of that portion of the map now, and even go in toward hell if they want to.
Loads of space to work with Falcons, really. They can have the ability to wrap back around. I don't think it would really be too useful here and now, but interesting to see forZe gonna happily give up all of that ramp control, right? They're not even contesting it. They're more than happy just to play super passive down towards that B site and kind of allow Falcons just to run a little bit riot. It must be a little bit nerving in a way, but you know, Jerry is a bit of a mastermind, so we trust him.
Yeah.
These pistols looking like they're trying to fly out the door momentarily. Risk will drop a smoke. Good timing on it as well. Force an engagement right into his hands. He'll find one quick trade. Looking for more as Jerry steps up. And the AUG sprays down. Two. Need something, some truth. The Eagle in hand. Good to see him back in the server. Jerry's got other ideas. He'll be seeing off 4-0. Falcons still yet to find success. And even getting to a bomb plant seems to be very difficult for them.
Yeah, bomb plant not achieved at any point in the first few rounds. And of course, Hadji and MBK only 2 kills apiece. Masuta and Python yet to get off the mark. It's a slow start, but as I said, that is on par with how they've been over the last few games. See if forZe can take advantage of that. And of course, Mirage would be a very interesting one with Falcons having not had good results on it lately at all. I.e. no good results at all. Kenny, rolling the ramp smoke as it comes in. And he's been watch parties on his own stream while these games have been going on. Obviously streamed by someone else on his channel. And been very popular, of course. Kenny still has the aura, doesn't he? Might not be the player he once was, but he's still, you know, good enough. No shadow of a doubt. And name value is still huge in the Legends. Krad moving toward ramp. Behind that Molotov. You should smoke it. It looks like Falcons aren't engaged to that, but they're going straight into Zorta. But that's an early miss from Zorta, and he'll be punished by Masuta. That's a really big entry. Now Krad has to step up. He's behind the ramp door at the moment, and Kenny destroys him beautifully. Shalfey is here to help out. However, he's a couple of kills from this very tough position. Jerry's taken Hadji in the meantime, and recovers it into a 3v3. And Kenny, of course, is very low from that early duel. Suter is the one with the bomb, and he's just sitting towards last at the moment. I want you to go for this plant just yet. Kenny has recovered that up. That's a smart idea, especially as he's low. Not just because he's Kenny. How do they get this plant down? They have a smoke on Masuta and Python. That is the way to do it. Python's making so much noise charging down Secret that Shalfey's heard him. This is going to be very hard to recover now with 20 seconds on the round as well. Joey's about to face. Masuta needs it and takes it. But Shalfey and Rasul are still healthy and still here. And Shalfey gets his 3rd of the round. Kenny 1v2. Has to go for the bomb plant. Will fake it to begin with. First kill. Perfect. But now he's got no time for the plant. Rasul realises that. Won't choose to face until the timer is up. And the clean sheet remains intact for forZe.
And that's round actually pretty well composed there from Rasul. I mean, he just parks up, right? He knows that Kenny has to play that one quite aggro. If he goes for a plant, there's a world in which Rasul can just shift walk up close to the other side of the silo and then see him up before he can even pull the ult back out. So there's no real way, if I'm perfectly honest, that Kenny's winning that unless he hits a ridiculous shot. And hey, not to be. Pause called, and I think it's actually a very good time to call for a pause for Falcons. It's not been the dream start, and the T side of Nuke is notorious for being very difficult to get underway and to make it comfortable. But yeah, so far we're not really seeing anything that's too convincing from Falcons as of late. It's been relatively one-sided affair. forZe have been looking, for the most part, uncontested and quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Everything looking quite good. And I got to say as well, the youngster Rasul, he hasn't had too many instances where he's needed to step up, but when he's called upon, he does, right? So a lot of people would look towards this one and think of him as a direct, pound for pound downgrade over towards forZe, but they play in different styles. I mean, I think forZe's a little bit more in the action, a little bit more on the pack, where Rasul's just more of that lurk style. I am interested, though, behind the decision-making, and of course, I don't think we'll ever really know why they decided to make changes kind of midway through the tournament or whatnot. I mean, maybe, forZe is busy or whatnot.
Yeah, obviously we don't know as of yet. There's been no announcements that at least I've seen. Maybe if someone in chat knows anything, who knows? You can feel free to tell us. We'll see it. But Rasul's having a wonderful start, so it might not even matter. 2 kills taken for free there, both headshots as well. To boot, he also deals with the lurk of Python. And forZe will keep the clean sheet intact. And honestly, whether it was Rasul or with forZe, in general, from what I've seen from these two teams, I would have been more confident in forZe than Falcons going into this series, whoever they decided to play with.
No, I'd agree. I say of the two, Falcons are definitely the underdogs in this specific scenario, especially when you consider, and not to kind of, you know, maybe have a little go on Partisan, but when you compare pound for pound Partisan to forZe say that all day, right? Role for role, player for player, and the fact that Falcons got pushed the distance by Partisan and make you just lean so much more in favor of forZe. Not a bad start. shalfey found the first. Suitor to 4. When the numbers favour them, might want to play a little bit more on the side of passivity as rest ulti, go for the elevated angle.
Water. And the angle from heaven. Waiting to help out a teammate, and shalfey actually will go straight into the arms of MBK. So this is a bit of progress for Falcons, but again, Result will cancel it immediately. It's interesting that Result is proving to be the player tasked with the door position on A, and that's usually a position that gets a lot of action. So very happy to entrust him with that, trusting his young raw talent. Result going aggressive as well, looking for information. See that lobby is completely cleared. Nice shot from Zorta that removes MBK despite the good start from Falcons. They haven't got any progress anywhere as of yet. We'll now drop down to T-Roof together. T-Roof onto main roof, I should say. But Zorta is still going to be here, and it's going to be very hard to pass him. Flashes are all they can really use. They will be able to get in towards Secret. However, 2v3 and the rotation can come down from Result, and he will be here in time. Back down towards the head on the stairs, but Haji hits a big headshot. He was slightly quiet yesterday. He's the man that really needs to step up for Falcons. Often one of the most underrated French players in the scene, in my opinion. Good Molotov. It actually denies the plant, and that's round done. Haji has to win this through frags alone with 4 seconds to go. There's no shot here. Manages to rip the head off of Zorta, but Krad is still here. He might take him down after time here. It's going to be very close. Oh, he just stays alive and keeps his gun. But Falcons cannot buy around right now.
Yeah, Haji was dancing to the devil there as well. A couple of peaks coming through with, the timer already gone. And Money would have been in a dire state in towards the next. Thankfully, he's all right in terms of he's got an AK to work with. And the buy can come around him. It means they can't pick up in towards an AWP. But to be very honest, Zord's actually been a little bit more uncomfortable than we usually would say on the AWP. He's slightly been struggling. Being overwhelmed at times and not as impactful as you would have hoped. Maybe if the rifle could be the better port of call. For now, though, 7-0. It's very little you can say on a bad note. I think this has been some cracking CS from forZe. It's been good CS from forZe and overall very impressive. But it's actually not anything astonishing, right? It's just that it's just outplaying Falcons in a more simple matter. Winning out their duels, playing the numbers advantage, not allowing them to get a bomb down. It's sort of simple things that are compiling.
Indeed. Python's also yet to get off the mark yet too. James bonding at the moment. He's the man that's rumoured to be on the chopping block for when Body arrives, who probably will be IGLing this team.
Do you think he knows Owen?
You're going to have to elaborate on that one.
Owen 7.
Damn. Well, anyway, let's see who will fall into Zorta's arms as well. There goes Masuta. It's a buy round as well for Falcons. It's not going too well at the moment. Python does get off the mark. And MBK will find Jerry, but he's now very low from winning that duel. And he's actually lucky not to go down to that particular position. He will turn around and then Python pounces. So, shalfey is now here. He's dropped down from heaven. Python's still 100 HP, but that's a beautiful shot from shalfey. MBK, the low HP player from early on, will get found by the aforementioned shalfey as well. 12-4 start for shalfey. 7-1 for Krad. It's great across the board. Falcons are looking very rough around the edges at the moment. I see a message in chat. Neo, forZe is currently streaming Face It. So there's your answer. He's busy with something else that's not this game. Damn.
forZe is currently streaming Face It. Oh, so this was
I guess
direct decision by
they've directly picked Result. There you go.
Okay, well, there we go. I mean, if we use the small information we've got, it seems like, yeah, they have just decided to pick him. All right. Well, what can you do? I mean, maybe even questionable to away, but hey, they'll take it all the same, right? I think Russell's a very, very good player, and forZe, I'm sure he'll get plenty of opportunities. Interestingly enough, as well, NES is streaming this game right now on his own channel, but I think it's basically just a restream of this. Yeah. But I just think it's quite interesting too. Anyway,
it is cool.
8-0.
It's cool.
Exactly. So
It's
exactly. Our voices.
Yeah, it keeps his community in the action, right? Which is, I think, is cool. I think more players should do that, honestly.
Yeah, our voices are currently live on a Kenny S channel. I'm not going to say no to that at all. I'm one of the legend that is. Either way, 8-0, great start. Falcons forced down to pistols, and unfortunately, I don't expect too much to come from this. I mean, if they get a bomb plant, that'd be lovely. That's good space they've created. All of this will be heard, though. Zorto will be relaying this information very quickly. No vent dive coming through. Shalfey, turn your back, Sunshine. There's many bodies coming your way.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to get overwhelmed. First real error of the game from Shalfey so far. MBK gets that Tech 9 frag, and now Jerry has to step up, but he can only get the one. Zorta now needs his on to shine. Only gets the 1-2. The fast Tech 9 could get Falcons off the board. Krad is still here, and he can swap to a gun immediately. That catches off MBK a little bit, and he can just strafe away. He's getting pushed very aggressively from Rissold, and that cancels out the situation. It's Masuta 1v2. Bomb is down. Of course, he can take his time, and then he has to show his hand as the smoke comes in. Krad finds him as it blooms, and the clean sheet keeps going on and on. It's 9-0. You start to get worried at this sort of stage, don't you?
You do. You do start to get very worried. I mean, normally I say, and I will say every time I cast Nuke, the golden number is 6, because it seems to be relatively spot on every time I say it. Golden number is 6. You find 6 rounds on your T side. I think it sets you up having confidence going in towards your CT, right? But for Falcons, getting towards 6 would mean they have to go flawless from here on out. So, to say the least, it's improbable. Not impossible, but it's not very likely right now because they are seriously struggling. You know, they cannot seem to scratch the surface of forZe. And remember as well, this is their map pick. Krad will hear a lot of information coming his way. Nade will come through as well. Does he take an aggressive point of ball here? Oh my god, Krad, what are you doing?
Okay.
It's like his mouse died. He just was like staring into the wall. But hey, nice opener. MBK will take it.
Yeah, every day of the week. What do you do from here? B is the choice. Shalfey's going to break open the door with his grenade, looking to try and pounce straight away. He's being held by Kenny, but he will jump across that line. And I think, honestly, at this stage, with the bomb going down, you have players very close to the site, sure. You might have to be considering a save. Jerry is very much locked in, so he's going to have to stick around. And Resort taking Python's lurk will definitely keep them in the action. And they've got the money to... Actually, you know what? I've completely lied. I thought they would have had the money, but some of the rounds have been so close. They're 9-0 up with not much cash at all. Only Zorta has cash. I looked at Zorta thinking they had money, but it's only him. So the fall away has to come through, and Falcons will finally get off the mark.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're looking over towards that CT side and think, do you know, they actually probably will be alright for a buy action towards next either way. Krad can pick one up, no problems. Zorta can drop one over, and then maybe you'll see Jerry wheel something like an MP9, right? We've kind of seen that before. I don't think it'll actually be too problematic. No, he's got an M4A1S. Full buys around, it's okay. They've got at least money to work with. That's where you look towards those sort of rounds. If they save 3 players, it's fine. We know they're going to have a buy because of drops. If they save 2, though, then you can't, because you can't drop over enough rifles. So it's all right. They prioritize right there. They've given up a first round over towards Falcons, and hey, you know, the golden number 6, it's still possible, ladies and gents. But forZe, they still got another buy coming in towards the neck. And it does show as well how weak this CT side economy can be and how kind of unstable it can be at times too. They are 9 rounds on the trot, but even still, 1 round loss, and their economy is in tatters in a long-term sense.
Absolutely. Shalfey looking for 2. Oh, he just adjusts the spray well. Thought for a second he might not be tracking that for one particularly good. Now Zorta's in the perfect position. Kenny only hits a tag. And Haji, sure, while he might have got his kill, he's down to 11 HP with the bomb on the A site all alone. There's no way out.
Even on the AK. And that's where you go back and look at that triple save coming through and thinking about how long-term that's really helped out super nicely, right? Because, I mean, they have buys to move in towards this one. Shalfey needed one, got one. Look where it's resulted in 2 kills his name. Jerry also needed a drop as well and gets 1. So, all in all, very, very good. I think Kenny gets very unlucky. He tags up on towards Zorta, and you're thinking, okay, that's all right? You're thinking there's you know, maybe a trade to come through, but unfortunately, not to be. Zorta will keep that orb ticking over just fine. 30 seconds to work with, and we've got Oh, a bit of time to kill here, to be perfectly honest, before we get on the way in towards the next. But once again, go back to a point we were talking about earlier, about the new boy in the block, Result, playing really well. He's actually playing some very difficult positions too. He plays over to a single door and A, and I think at times it can be very difficult because it's kind of one of those positions where you either see no one or everybody. And so far, so good for him, to be perfectly honest. I think we've seen some really decent work out of Result. He's, stepping up to the plate in what has been quite difficult times. He's been tested here and there, and he's doing all right.
He's doing good. Of course, ever since forZe moved away from the Norvi and Kenzie roster, they kind of were without a full team, even a proper core for a while. They only had Jerry and shalfey a little bit. Zorta decided to stick around, and Krad joining from Entropic, as we've all said, of course. forZe playing a little bit with the team. Thought that was a really good choice, as he was always a player that was highly talked about, even as a player for Navi one day. Yeah. Of course, that comes with other political things, which I won't go into. But yeah, it's interesting to see that Result's playing so well. As I said, first time casting him. I've seen him around and about, but it's great to see it in the flesh. He's doing great at the moment. 10-1. This is the perfect start. Falcons are just missing their timings right now. The smokes are fading outside, and it almost gives shalfey 3 kills. They're just waiting a bit too long, though, I would say. They got down quicker. Now all 4 are sort of piled on top of each other, which is a little bit awkward in this sort of scenario. Could easily be a player down near those double doors where that Molotov is thrown. MBK still lurking at the top of main roof as well. Flash coming in to clear those double doors, but Zorta is going to be here and ready and raring for the play to come his way. There's a play on the back of the site as well in Krad, behind the site silo. Zorta goes aggressive, hits a tiny tag toward Masuta. That is all for now. Python, of course, is too. MBK shows his hand, brought outside and taps Jerry down. 1 bullet needed is all he needs. And now Zorta will take down his counterpart. He's still alive, and Krad, of course, is still there. Finally, Python, having recovered that orb, takes him out, but Result waits for that lurk of MBK and deals with him. Krad is doing more damage on the top of the site. Haji takes a long time to find him, and because of that, he's 25 health 1v2. He's got a chance for the plant, which does help. But how does he rotate? He's going to here's both players coming towards single door. Needs instant pre-fires, and he knows it. But shalfey deals with it. 15th kill for shalfey. 11-1. It is so, so clean for forZe right now.
It is. I mean, there's so little errors creeping through as well. I mean, Falcons, at least, they're playing the trades over towards the site to get a bomb down. That's the nice thing. Haji does it's a decent work at the very least to get himself into the ability to get that bomb down, but you never really feel phased, do you? It's always looking super clean from forZe, and it does worry you, right? I mean, it already kind of feels like this map is chalked up and done. I mean, trying to come back from this it feels now impossible at times, but 11-1. One-sided, a 10-round lead. Falcons look mentally defeated. I'm not even really started yet.
No, don't forget, of course, it is Falcons map pick as well, which just says a lot about the dominance from forZe at the moment. Zorta goes aggressive. Jerry even falls down the top roof. I'm not sure if that was by luck or by judgment. He did that and gave Masuta a free kill. But either way, the 4v4. And forZe are almost locking out Falcons completely here.
Outside once again, testing those waters. This time, I think they go right utility. Work against them a little bit. shalfey, couple of taps, gonna fall away. Gonna try and meet them with a nade. Won't do too much, or well, nothing. In fact, actually bought a little bit of time for Krad to rotate in through secret. These should be freebies. Messy spray for the second. But Python should have been able to trade there. The inability to do so does worry me slightly. And the full blind on towards Kenny means that he gets away scot-free. Numbers favor forZe, but the HP doesn't. But time is ticking.
They should have been treading that on every day of the week, and they know it. Krad's got away with murder there, quite literally. It's not one you want to look back on. Krad rotating around as well, even though he's low, looking for information, and he sees MBK. And Krad has somehow got away with another kill. It's so close, but a miss is as good as a mile. It's Kenny, 1v3. Bomb directly above him as well. That makes it even more difficult with 7 seconds to go. He's going to have to shift away.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes down after time. I have no gun and $50. forZe once again secure the round comfortably. And Falcons really, I think it's fair to say now, have had only really 1 or 2 proper good chances to win a round. Everything else has been a lockout.
Yeah, few and far between. There is very, very little. When you look over towards Falcons, which you can, sit here and unbiasedly say that there was positives, right? I mean, there has been the one round they took, it's been scrappy at times where you maybe think, if they could control the chaos a little bit better, hey, maybe then they put a round on the board. But generally speaking, forZe are playing this perfectly. And it's even tempted to see where maybe Falcons lost this game and series when we look back at the end, maybe from the veto alone, right? Because they picked into a map in which forZe look so strong on. Right now, they look untouchable. I mean, there's very few things you can say on a negative note over towards forZe. Everything's been more or less flawless. Rizzo needs to be careful, though. Yuta will come through. He'll be tested momentarily as Molly was actually spreading, tucking down a little bit. They'll have heard that.
Yeah, I think it's an entry and a second as well. Well played. Assault. Oh, actually, he didn't even get that kill. Python just ran into his own Molotov. That's what we call a real 1G. But it shouldn't mean anything to do with the round. No worries for Falcons. They're finally going to get their second here. As shalfey and Zorta decide to jump in for some reason, which they most certainly won't do. So, finally, they're going to get themselves off the board. And I think it's safe to say, and it goes without saying, that 3 rounds on T-side is an absolute necessity. But, they've only got the second as of yet. At least it's something.
Yeah, they'll take anything they can get at this point. I really think that there's so little when you look over towards Falcons that has been good to talk about, that when we get the opportunity, we'll milk it just a little bit. Because that was actually a fairly decent take on towards the A side. I think the Rafters player, I can't remember who it was. I think it may have been Krad. Slightly whiff spray there. That laboured spray actually cost him over towards the A side. Wrestle, for him to even step up to get 1, I should have given the credit, because he's met with, a barrage of utility and 3 players in front of him. Sometimes you see players kind of like a deer in headlights. Don't really know who to fight first and whatnot, but we're all good now. 12-2, deficit down to 10 rounds. And no, you don't have to correct your headset. I am right, down to 10 rounds. It's an uphill battle, to say the least. So yes, you can make the argument all you want that Falcons are on the T side, but this map isn't that CT-sided. Okay, takes the mutual damage. We'll find the first shalfey. Goes aggro, pays the price for it.
Yep. I mean, you rightly say, I mean, it's still one of the most CT-sided maps in the pool, but in general, it does become, and has become, more even over the course of the last year or two. Obviously, it's not like the old, basically guaranteed 13-2 days of the OG Nuke. It might still be 13-2. That just shows how good the CT side has been from forZe. Assault deals with Masuta. Haji needs a tasty entry or 2. It's not a possibility, but Jerry. Okay, see you later, Kenny. See you later, Haji. Oh my goodness. Jerry, absolute madman once again. He does have these rounds, doesn't he? Absolutely pops off. Krad swings wide to deal with NBK comfortably. And Python is 1v4, stuck in hut. Jerry could be about to take him as well. Bomb in the open. Jerry is just continuing to shoulder spot it, knowing it's still there. There's no other risk. Python is what we call in the industry screwed. 2 players holding the angle. Take down to 50. Has to swing. Zorta takes him out. It's a glorious CT half from forZe. They just need 3 to take Falcons map pick. We'll see if they can convert it after a quick break.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be a day of victory. victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come. You're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, but pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They're waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, getting it up now. Go wake the moon, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give
Welcome back. What a half from forZe. I mean, there is very little you can say on a bad note over towards them. They had a stunner of a CT side, 13-2, and now we look towards Falcons. How? And we hope that they can respond, because they desperately need something. Bearing in mind, Krad, this is their map pick. That makes it even more worrying.
It does, and as much as forZe had a stunner, you have to say Falcons had a stinker.
Yeah.
Does not look too hot, does it, across the board? Really, only NBK has been the one consistently shooting back, which is, if it's just only the one player, it doesn't really work out for you, does it? And you have to hope that Paris Major, of course, coming up very soon. The Falcons, if they do decide to pick up body, could be a way, possibly, revitalize this roster. But nothing is over yet. This piss round is certainly going in their favour very nicely. NBK gets 2 more, means he's back to a positive KD. Masuta, holding the last 2 players for ramp, taps down 1, bomb dropped, takes Jerry as well, who had no armour. And that is the first step in the long road to a comeback.
Oh, I mean, that's not a word I'd be using just yet, right? The whole notion and thought process around comeback makes me just feel uneasy, because, well, first of all, we've had some marathons, but second of all, it just seems so unlikely. I'll take a little deep dive in just a moment, because I know where I can find all the statistics around it, but at a 13-2, it feels very, very unlikely. We'll have to wait and see, you know, it's definitely not impossible. I mean, if forZe can do it, who's to say Falcons can't, maybe even one up it. 13-3. The T side, they've gone for the full investment. Pistols brought out, a couple of Tech 9s, a couple of Eagles to see what they can do. Priority is looking for a compound.
Yep, indeed. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of chat about Falcons right now, but we have to just say that, for forZe's sake, you just have to stay calm here, because
yes,
they shouldn't be playing this half as if they are No, 13-3 up. They should be playing it as normal. Make sure they just play the correct rounds at the correct time and see where it gets them. And see how it pans out later on. There's Kenny. 3 kills on the anti-force buy, not the anti-eco, because this was a full on fours. That can be a bit of a tongue twister. And shalfey's done a great job at recovering it into a 2v2. And Jerry is also in a very interesting position as well. Advanced toward outside. He's going to stick around in that position for a while yet. Shalfey, will you be expected here? At least look for it. And there we go. A dink. Straight to the dome. And suddenly, Hadji is wondering where on earth it's all gone wrong. Jerry can now finally advance. They were planning to converge on ramp as a duo like this. But Shalfey's got away with another. They can get the bomb for free. 20 seconds. Guns can be picked up too. Jerry's got the M4. Bomb picked up. And it looks like they're going Heaven 2A. And Hadji, he's not too far away from the action. But the bomb will get down safely and will be planted safely as well. Hadji basically has to win this. Give Falcons any chance, and he's been jump spotted. That's really well done from Shalfey. Perfect bit of information spotting there. Now both Jerry and Shalfey can play off of each other on the back of the site. Jerry hiding, Shalfey ready and ready to peek at any moment. There's the damage, and Jerry can now just play, ring around the rosy, and deal with this round. Hadji has no clue that Jerry's up close. The freest kill ever. Done and dusted. Falcons are nowhere on Nuke, I'm afraid. forZe win their force buy.
Yeah, this is a map to forget for Falcons. It really is. But before I dive into the analysts or whatever, I want to ask you, Trav, from a 13-2 half, right, for forZe, what do you think of every game ever played on HLTV? What do you think the percentage is that forZe win it?
I'm gonna go 93.
Close, 94. 94%. That forZe win it. So 6% of every game ever played on Nuke, or for that specific scoreline, may I say, of every game played on Nuke.
Yeah,
they've made a comeback. So there's odds on in their favour, let's say, for Falcons, and I don't think they are anymore. Actually, though, second cheeky man stuck in the smoke, but he will get dropped either way. Now tensions are all towards ramp, and this should be all she wrote. A flawless round there for forZe. Couple of tags, but they were barely tested.
It's going to be one of those pictures you see on Twitter, right? You see a screenshot of Falcons picked Nuke, and then you see a screenshot of the scoreline. And
I'm going to beat them to it.
You're going to do it right now, are you?
All you people at home, I am in the server.
You
can't beat me.
Exactly. There you go. Listen, if you want to judge Neo's tweet, follow him at NeoKai. You can judge me as well. I'm not going to tweet yet.
KAI.
TravCS. Enrique trying to keep this one going a little while longer. He's been really the main man in this game, despite the fact they only won 3 rounds. Nice scout headshot. But was within touching distance of the first map already, and they'll be going on to Mirage on map 2, which is maybe not as strong a stomping ground as it once was, but still a very good map, and one that Falcons have not gleaned a win on in the last 3 months out of 4 attempts. Against relatively low opposition teams as well. Issue. Assault finds that one. The comeback is already in order. Scout's been removed. Python's looking to try and flank, and Kenny does get one, so he should get a kill back here. It swings and roundabouts. 3v2, Krad takes his kill, looking for a second, but Python takes it. Now it's a 1v1. 76 HP versus 76 HP, but Python keeps it going for a little while longer. And joking aside, this is important because they need to have at least some momentum, and at least what feels like practice even, before map 2, because they're just going to still be feeling cold at this point.
No, exactly that. And also, there's been a lot of question marks around Python as a player, right? And in terms of this roster too, and it's good to see him step up when he's scored upon at times, right? He's actually the second highest fragger over towards Team Falcons, which isn't saying much, but better than nothing. Confidence boost for him and for the roster, because they need something when heading into map number 2. It's gonna be forZe's pick, but it's Mirage. It's the it's the Puggers playground. It's the perfect place, the paradise for the Angels. It's all down to how well you can click mouse 1. And
yep.
you know, for forZe, that kind of leads into their playstyle quite heavily, especially the likes of your shalfeys and your Zortas of the world. Even still, I think for Falcons, they're in a position where they just need some confidence if they want to make this a possibility heading in towards Mirage and maybe pushing us towards the decider. It feels extremely unlikely just because of what a destitute position we're in right now, but they will take anything.
Yeah, indeed. Some rounds would be nice to build some confidence, and as you say, I mean, maybe, as I said, we're talking doom and gloom as if there isn't a second map. It's just the statistics are all against them, right? But at the same time, you do worry. Maybe the change that is rumoured could be the way forward for them. That's a nice shot from the missile, but Hadji will deal with it, and he's doing good work right now from the top of hut. Leaves shalfey last alive. Kenny with 2, Hadji with 2. And I mean, you know, it might sound like we're beating on them a bit, Falcons, but realistically, it's because I think both of us, Neo, I mean, I quite like the players on the team. I don't have anything against MBK, I don't have anything against Kenny. They're legends of the game by their own right, absolutely. I've always been a Hadji enjoyer. I thought he's been one of the most underrated French players for years. Remember, he was on Envious back in the day, of course, when RPK was in his pomp, having really good performances at big events. Masuta, of course, has had his stint in Vitality. But yeah, it's just disappointing opening map, especially when it's their pick. Shalfey's choosing to save the AK. I don't blame him with $0 in the bank.
No, that's it. You got what you got, right? AK is better than nothing. Of course, the support round is going to be actually pretty rough too. So this might just be one of those sort of hero AK rounds. We don't really see too much brought into the table by the T side. I think as well for forZe, they don't need to. I think it'll be a little bit risky and a bit weird if they start getting kind of overconfident, overzealous, and trying to over-invest into these sort of rounds. Stick around that $2K mark and find themselves around number 22. I mean, kind of in a way, happily give up a 6 over towards Falcons, but play for the win. That's definitely the preferred state.
Shalfey boosted up behind the back. Squeaky box. BK eventually will tap Krad out of the round. AK in the action, and honestly, you know, forZe are even thinking about that round pretty well, right? Because Shalfey, as we know, has got that only AK, and basically the one position where it's very unlikely that he'll be sprayed back through that smoke is boosted on a headshot angle behind that box. So, again, even something like that, even though it didn't work for a kill, just shows you that forZe's brains are turned on. Smart angle to put the AK in. Whether it gets any action in this round at all remains to be seen, but still shows all the thought processes and how confident they're feeling.
Very slow here now. Kenny holding. Heat ramp. Should be in for one here. Shot though, he's going to get pressure. Needs to be careful. They're diving out to the other side. Thankfully, he'll step up. Catching one. Masuta's FAMAS for a double. All down to 50. Oh, I was just thinking to get a 1, but actually maybe not. No, thankfully he'll be okay before. Go on. Trade him out.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
I actually remember at a conference, they were saying, you know, that's how technically it was played. Cool.
Yeah, probably. I mean, listen, unfortunately, we don't have French genes, so we probably we probably won't be able to pull it off perfectly, but yeah, it's interesting one for sure. Not knowing exactly what his future will be like. Heat obviously are in a complete mess. Afro apparently off to LDLC. That does bolster that roster pretty significantly, I will say. Obviously, Afro teaming up with Amanek. And if Body does go to Falcons, that gives them a proper IGL to work off of, who of course has had pretty good results last year with Heat. So I reckon that is a good way to go for the future. But again, that is just rumours and speculation. 1 for 1 early in this round. Kenny got his 1. So did Result. They're both still alive in the round as well. Vitor and Shalfey both to go down. MBK looking for the outside player at the moment. Krad might see feet first if MBK is not careful. And forZe are going to rise again from Secret. And MBK, he's been clean as anything in this game, I've got to say. Might not be in vain, but he's been very confident hitting those taps over and over. himself another. More long-range stuff, and there's another headshot for him. Zorta will trade, but 2v3. Another round for Falcons on the board here.
Chris, MBK, to be fair to him, had you not about shot either. Fine Zorta, leaving it all down to one man, the new boy. That's all the youngster. We see now, but the experience of Haji, 7th collected for Falcons. Not a bad CT side starting to build up here. I mean, of course, there's a lot more to be done. But, you know, a massive kind of way back into this game, and it's still extremely unlikely. All it takes is one hiccup. But they're making this extremely competitive. I think forZe maybe coming a little bit too overconfident, a little bit too comfortable towards this T side, and not actually expecting as much of a fight as they're being given right now. Very, very decent CT side. MBK as well, of course, for Falcons. They're all boot camping in Poland right now, so boot camp buff maybe working wonders for MBK, because he's looking crisp. Adjit times 2. Pulling down Secret. Molotov will meet them. They wanted to try and guarantee a bomb plant. Haji will meet them with a grenade.
Another one. Nice taps. You hear even more. There was a famous scream clip position. He just kept tapping away. And that was not too bad either from Haji. Himself 4 in total. One of you may remember that one. I think that might have been an old ECS or something from memory. But that's a long way ago now, of course, unfortunately. Scream, I miss you, honey. I'm just nostalgic.
Yeah. Nostalgia merchant Trav over here.
I mean, listen, we've got Kenny and MBK in the server, so I should be full of nostalgia right now.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Of course, for our Falcons, taking a fairly decent way at this. Zort's going to pick us up into an SG. Not often you see that. I mean, the AUG, understandable. The Krieg, however, that slow rate of fire. Rest of the first and the second too. Playing well above his years, the youngster. He's doing all right. And A site has been his for quite a while. The shalfey will step up for one of his own. MPK is going to be called upon, but it's left it down to Masuta. Jerry catches him from behind. All down to one man, but what can Masuta do? He needs an ace clutch. And he's left on 48 points of HP to try and rectify the situation. As the bomb goes down, and he's seen off. Ladies and gentlemen, 16-8. forZe take Falcons map pick in what was an electrifying 13-2 first half. And a fairly decent second as well. Really well played from the Falcons. I don't know, Trav, a lot of questions to be asked.
Yeah, they were kind of absent for quite a lot of period in that game. As I said, they did get some rounds and some confidence and some warm-up, really, for the next map coming up. But the problem is, it's Mirage. And historically, as I said earlier, well, it may...